Benny's adventure team? Where did that come from?
Hey, Fremine! Thelxie! We're here!
Hello, Paimon. Hello, Traveler.
Is the crown ready?
Yes, we're just waiting for Zuria now. She hasn't arrived yet.
Then let's wait for her a little while. Or actually, maybe we can go find her. It's not too far from here anyway. Didn't she say she just lives on the hill over there?
Hey, Traveler! Paimon!
Oh, and speaking of...
Found you two at long last. I'm so glad that you both are all right.
Huh? Why are you here, Miss Delaroche? And what could have happened to us?
What could have happened? That water imp Thelxie, of course. After I gave you that commission the other day, I began to get worried and went asking about the boy that went missing.
Oh, that? We've got it all figured out now. The boy you heard about was just Fremine. Even the missing fish was his fault. Don't worry, we'll help you get the fish back as soon as we're done with this job.
Oh, sorry about that. I've been diving in the area recently.
Huh? Fremine? Diving? No, that's not what happened at all. I've heard a completely different account. What I was told is that about a month ago, a child tied a bunch of heavy seashells onto his body and walked into this open stretch of water. He never came back. What could that be if not that water imp's work?
Are you sure?
100% sure. I've confirmed the account with several veteran fishermen I know. The child was only 8 years old. His name was Lescaut. Lescaut d'Estray.
Wait, Lescaut d'Estray?
Yeah, that's the name. They say the family took on the name after moving to the city from a place called Stray. Anyway, his mother is a pretty famous art dealer, while his father passed away from an accident many years ago. Well, naturally, his mother was devastated by the incident and fell terribly ill. It's said that she left the court of Fontaine, and no one knows where she's gone.
It can't be, right? Lescaut d'Estray? Zuria d'Estray? It must be some sort of a coincidence?
I'm sorry, miss. We've gotta go check on something right now.
Oh, I see. Well, you go on ahead. I just came to make sure that you're both all right. I'll head back then. Please remember to take care.
we go!
Excuse us. Is anyone here? Is this Madame Destray's place?
Who are you? I have a patient here who needs quiet bed rest. Please leave us be unless you have anything urgent to report.
This is the residence of Zuria Destri, and I'm Jala Khan, her family doctor. What did you mean by your question just now? Who else could be my patient?
Your patient should be Zuria's son, right? She told us herself that her son had contracted loneliness syndrome.
No, you're right. Young Master Lescaut did have that illness once upon a time, but he's... Well, the young master's no longer with us. And now the Madame has come down with the same illness. Are you her friends, by any chance? Oh. So, when she had requested time to go out over the past few days, it was so she could spend them with you.
So, if I'm understanding this right, the one who's suffering from uncontrollable delusions is the Madame herself? She believes her son is still alive?
That is correct. When the young master disappeared, she was organizing an art exhibit that she had specifically prepared for him. But since she had to leave the house, she was unable to see her son one last time. That might have been the trigger for her regret. Or perhaps the family's fall into loneliness and grief was inevitable as soon as the old master passed away. First the son, and then the mother.
But how could that be? She really looked like she had a handle on everything. Her smile was so lovely, and she even told us to stay optimistic. But you're saying she...
Those actions are proof that she can no longer differentiate between fantasy and reality.
Then all the other things that she told us about her son, were those fake too?
No, those were all real. Although, they were all things that happened before the young master left us for good. Madame's time has just never moved forward since his passing.
I see. So after her son left, she created a fantasy world where her son was still with her. She was looking for a way to cure his illness when she ran into us.
She has been in a good mood the past few days, even humming a song when she returned from her stroll. She even began discussing with me the idea of using deliberate guidance to ease the illness. It was all going well, until last night. She spent a whole night staring at the shell the young master left behind, and the words that he had inscribed onto it. Then she broke down once more. I prescribed some sedatives, and she's currently resting.
But then what should we do? How can we help her? There has to be something we can do.
Don't panic, Paimon. Even though this is a devastating piece of news, we must all calm down first. What should we do? I need to think. I need to remember the old house of the hearth and the children who lived in it. Those patients, and what their doctors said back then. What if... Dr. Jala Khan, have you seen a picture book? The Madame should have brought it back with her.
Are you thinking about trying the guidance therapy she talked to me about before? Well, it's worth a shot. I'll go get the book.
Yes, this is it. That's right. If what Dr. Jean Lacan said was true, the past few days have been very helpful to Zuria. So we should complete this journey. We need to show her that her child has found a happy ending in the world of her dreams.
But wouldn't that just make it harder for her to accept reality?
One must first face reality before accepting it. The Madame has been crushed by her feelings of grief and can no longer bring herself to face reality. Our first priority would be to get her out of this state.
Right. Before today, I had thought she wanted to use Thelxie's fantastic adventures to save her son. But now, I think she might need it to save herself. And if we could complete it, we should be able to give her some feeling of inspiration and closure. Maybe those feelings would be enough to give her some courage to face reality again. There's no time to waste. Let's set off right away.
We're here again. This is the final part of Thelxie's journey, but the most important person is missing.
Everyone, please don't be so down and gloomy. Remember what she told us? If we were to feel troubled, the patient would become anxious as well.
You're right. Paimon needs to smile. If we have to give something to Zuria, it should be our smiles. We have to keep smiling as we finish this adventure. And then she'll be able to recover, right, everyone?
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
Oh! Be careful, brave adventurers. Here come the evil monsters that stole the crown. They're... the deep sea Cyclops. Let's beat them up!
Born of ice and frost.
Watch out, everyone! They're coming at us again!
There's no need to fear. Prince Thelxie looks stronger than ever today. He must be going all out.
Access denied.
Oh, this is the final enemy, right? We'll reclaim the crown for you now, Your Highness!
Everybody stand back!
This is long overdue. No touching.
I'm sorry. I have to go. I made a promise to my friends, and I'm already very late.
But, Madame, you're still...
Don't try to stop me. Today's the most important day for treating Thelxie. We'll use the guidance method. Didn't you also say that you'd think it'd work?
I'm not trying to stop you, Madame. It's just... Could you tell me the name of your child?
Dr. Jalacan, how can you forget the name of your own patient? His name is Thelxie. He's the prince of the kingdom of water imps. We will go today to reclaim his crown and attend his coronation ceremony.
I see. Madame, please rest assured, everything is still on schedule. Your friends have already departed to find... Wait, look. They've already returned.
Zuria! Zuria! We've retrieved the crown!
Paimon, everyone, have you really?
Yes, but the coronation ceremony still hasn't taken place, because we felt like you should be the one to preside over it.
Wonderful, how wonderful! Thelxie, my child, are you hearing this? Everything you lost will now come back to you, and soon, very soon, you will never be lonely again.
And the last page of the picture book. It's still waiting for you to illustrate in color.
Right, the picture book. But I don't know what I should put on the last page.
Don't worry, Thelxie and his friends all know what should go on it. Get ready, Zuria. We'll describe everything for you.
Okay.
At last, Thelxie and his friends were able to drive off the final invading monsters and achieve a dashing victory. Their success was complete, and the recovered crown resplendent.
The water imps, finally returning to their homes, showered the prince with love and applause as he greeted them. They once again offered their precious shells to the prince and reconstructed the rainbow bridge of old. As he watched the scene unfold, the prince could not help but be touched by its beauty.
Moved by everyone's happiness, the prince stepped onto the rainbow bridge and took a good look at all the friends who had gone on the journey with him. There stood the traveler, Goddess Paimon, Fremine, and... Huh? Where's the last person? The prince looked frantically around, but could not find the person he wanted to see most. At that moment, the person suddenly appeared on the other side of the bridge. She walked towards him with a smile and slowly lifted her veil.
The prince could not hold back his tears. He recognized then that the mysterious person that had been by his side the whole time was none other than his mother. Zuria walked across the bridge and placed the crown above the prince's head. She smiled down upon him as she said, "My prince, my king, you shall never, ever need to feel lonely again."
That's the end of the story, Zuria.
Thank you. Thank you all. I am so sorry, my child. Maman should have spent more time with you. Did you hear the story? You'll never have to feel lonely again. Maman loves you too.
What's happening? Is Zuria talking to Thelxie?
Quick, put on my diving helmet. There's a transcription module in it that's compatible with Thelxie's output signals. You should be able to use it to understand what Thelxie's saying.
Maman. Maman loves you too.
But I love you more, Maman.
What? Did you see something?
Maman, I'm getting a little sleepy. If it's time for bed, can you hum a lullaby to me again? Of course, my dearest child. As long as you want to hear it, Mama will always hum for you. Thank you, Maman. Your lullaby has always been my favorite. Now that I've heard it, I can return to my dream and to the kingdom of water imps in peace. My poor darling. Please don't forget. I will always love you. My love is greater than the entire distance between here and the kingdom of water imps. I won't forget, Maman. And so is my love for you. Greater than the entire distance between here and the kingdom of water imps. Good night, Maman.
Traveler, Paimon, you're here.
Fremine! Why did you call us in such a hurry? Did you hear something from Zuria? Oh, if it's not good news, Paimon doesn't want to hear it!
Don't worry, it's definitely great news. The Madame came here for a visit just now with her doctor. Color has returned to her cheeks, and she sounded full of energy as well. She said she'd like to return to the court to continue hosting the art exhibit. But this time, she'll work with her doctor to exhibit some picture books related to the illness. Of course, Thelxie's fantastic adventures and the guidance therapy will be included in the exhibit as well. She'd like to use her experience to help others.
That's wonderful! So it wasn't bad news after all.
Mm-hmm. Here, please take this picture book with you. The Madame wanted you to have it. If, at some point in the future, you were to run into someone with similar troubles, she hopes the book would be of use to you.
But this is her son's story, right? Is it really okay to give the book to us?
Don't worry, it's just a copy. She still has the original. It's extremely important to her.
Alright, then there's no problem. It feels good knowing we've contributed to something important. Paimon definitely didn't expect the fantasy adventure to be so useful. Paimon was a little worried about how everything would turn out. After all, fantasy is just fantasy.
Paimon, do you know what the Madame said? She said that at the moment when she placed the crown on Thelxie's head, she felt like she really saw something beautiful. Her child had returned, and he told her that he loved her. She also said that was when she was finally able to bid farewell to her son. She felt like at that moment, she was healed by some mystical power, and she was filled with courage from head to toe.
Oh, really? But could that just be another part of her fantasy?
Perhaps. But if fantasy is just fantasy, and the fantasy world is not real, then how could it still grant us these powers that we can continue to use in the real world? a descent of the fairy tale world into the real world. At that time, the wondrous fairy tale temporarily became reality and influenced real things in our world. That has to be what happened. You saw it too, didn't you?
What? That can't be what happened, right? There's just no way. Wouldn't it be like a miracle if that really happened?
Yes, I suppose that would be a miracle. I hope that everyone who's found themselves in a dark place would be able to see something beautiful and experience a miracle for themselves.